Why the first minute matters. Well, after you've gotten past the first 30 seconds, you should be applauding because only 10%, maybe 20% of people ever get that far in general anyway. Because either they find a reason to stop talking or they shut down or the other person doesn't want anything to do with them. So, in that new opening now, and as you've been able to create the space for yourself to probably talk for the majority of the time, the important piece of the next 30 seconds to get up to the first minute is about now giving your prospect a chance to share who they are. And that is going to tell you everything about whether or not you're actually ultimately going to ask for their phone number or their Facebook ad. So in this context, I want you to be really present to listening again, okay? Really smiling and listening and not thinking about what you're going to say next. Here's where you're just absorbing the other person's energy, the other person's perspective, the other person's reasons for being there, for sharing the response to the question that you asked them. And as you're listening, it's like you almost want to put yourself in their shoes and you want to start mirroring, their movement. So if they're really kind of bouncing around and kind of get loose with their body, but be connected by showing them that you're tuned in. And if certainly you're going to want to pay close attention to eye contact. So make eye contact, but at the same time, you don't have to stare them down like you're watching, a vivid horror flick. Keep a little bit of safety there by looking and then maybe just kind of look to the side for a moment and then look back and show them that you are looking at them, but you don't have to stare at them. Nothing is worse than somebody just being mesmerized by who you are physically alone. That it's almost like a groupie. You want somebody to see who you are for not just how you look, but something deeper, and that's what happens in that next 30 seconds. So, from leading to the end of the first minute, after you've asked your questions or made some kind of a remark or an observation about something that's happening in the moment, and you've gotten her initial response, and then you've asked another question or carried off of that. Now it's time to really allow her or him the freedom to express who they are around what you're talking about. If you haven't touched the person inadvertently, you want to go into a place of, slight little nudge, get a little closer, and then also watch how they respond to that. If they're going to like loosen up or go loosen up, in a kind of an uncomfortable way, then back up. If they're going to loosen up in a good way and you can tell that they're almost inviting you to come closer or to share more, move your body a little bit. It makes people feel more comfortable. If you're just both standing staring at each other, it's just weird. And other people will pick up on that too. So by making it seem like it's more casual in the first minute, you'll allow yourself to potentially even get the phone number or the Facebook ad right there. I mean, most of the time, I think it's even more advantageous to ask right away within the first minute for the person's phone number or name to add on Facebook because you're cutting right to the chase. And odds are you're going to leave yourself less room to screw up. So go into it early. If you see the window, if there's a reciprocation and you guys are laughing or sharing or connecting in some way, just flat out ask and say, can I add you on Facebook? Or can I get your number? Because I want to talk to you outside of this. Just be really clear with your communication because a lot of times most people, they shy away from it and it makes people uncomfortable later in the conversation because there's this building up. Is he or is he not going to ask me for my number? Or it gets weird. So the cleaner, and you'll know when you're in it and you're in the zone, you'll tell, you can usually tell. And if you're on a high note, ask for the number. Don't wait any further past the first minute. But for all intents and purposes, just make sure that you're allowing the other person to talk, to connect and express who they are so you're not monopolizing as a know-it-all would be in a conversation, and feel the other person, mirror their body language even further, and if you feel like it's appropriate, ask for the information right then and there. So that's going to conclude the quick little tip on the first minute. If you want more, stay tuned.